based on temporal intervals, is that we try to give some specific explanation of data. If you start by extracting the statistical parameters and then converting them in sentences, you lost the focus in, perhaps this is a quite simple case, but you need to order your mind when you try to get the sentences. That is an approach directed by the final requirements of the system. You know the kind of sentences you like to do. For instance, the final periods must be this one, these specific final periods. And then that helps you to create the adequate sentences. If you do the other, at the end you need to do a specific effort of design for converting, for interpreting first, which means this average, for instance. The high value of power consumption is in that part. But how to convert this in a sentence, in a meaningful sentence? I think you have a difficulty in that moment. If you start by following this path, maybe you are losing information, but that is something that always occurs, because we, the human beings, we have perceptions directed by something. We start for, maybe in this case, we start thinking what we mean, which we said early morning. And then, that is the process of design more than a process of...
I understand what you mean, but my point is, do the aggregation as late as possible. This is the thing. Yeah. And then count. I think this is, you give away information if you aggregate too soon. Yeah. And then calculate, I don't know, frequencies or something. The problem is you calculate in frequencies of a thing you have aggregated before. So you're giving away information. And I think the best way to handle it is to use the aggregation or these labels the latest possible way. Yeah, and then translate. The translation works.
Mental capacity of understanding the data. Because if you start resuming, you can create a kind of hierarchical structure of summaries. I don't know if I explained it properly. Mm-hmm. You have, first you observe the data, thousands of data, and then you make a decision. Okay, I like to obtain a final sentence. But maybe your approach could be a step-by-step approach. I will get a summarization of this, maybe obtaining less amount of possible categories. I am doing a kind of categorization. Yeah, but then I resume, I summarize again and then summarize again. That is the approach.
Yeah, but the problem is if you summarize something you summarized before, it is better to summarize again, and then there no information is lost. The sentence can be done probably in a similar way afterwards. You know,
yes, perhaps once designed the process, you can go back and then to recalculate the data, using, trying to avoid using data. Maybe.
Okay. Are you using fixed intervals for this period of the time for all the users?
Yes.
These intervals have been established by an expert?
The question is, you have a lot of data from a lot of users, then you can use statistics or automatic learning process in order to generate this kind of intervals.
That is possible.
In average or even individual for each user. Because, for example, with the idea of relevance, you say, this information is important, is relevant, because it's different from the average of people. But maybe this is useful for the first time that you send the report to the user. But then from 1 month to the next month to the next month, you don't need to see always the same message. The question is if there is something changing, respect the rest of information that you receive always, because finally you have a pattern of consumption of energy.
And I am not so sure that this is important for you, what is different from the others. It's not so clear to me, because let's suppose you have a very high consumption during the mornings or during the nights, and everybody, and it's common, everybody has a high consumption during the nights. I think still this is interesting, it's relevant for you, even if it's similar to the others. I'm not so sure that this is the best way to, what is relevant for a user. The relevant for a user is, if I understand what is the idea, is what can I change to improve my patterns of consumptions, or what is relevant, you know?
This is exactly what they don't say.
Yeah.
And the company doesn't want to tell you. They say, switch off all your pilots. And you save a lot of money. They will never tell you that.
No, but I want to know what is my pattern of consumptions. it doesn't matter if I am in the average, if I am like everybody else, then it will tell me nothing. Because I am like everybody else, it will tell me nothing. But still I need to know what are my patterns. I consume very high in the mornings, even though everybody consumes very high in the mornings. You know what I mean?
I think
It's-
that, perhaps you'd like to answer him or not.
Well, I think you do have a good point also. It is also, this relevance value is a heuristic that we are using, and just that also.
No, I mean, you can use, one is relevance compared to the group, we will say. It's relevant inside of the group, how specific you are inside of the group, what is your difference with the group. But also, sometimes it's important what are the similarities with the group, not only what is different from the group, but also what's shared with everybody, with many people, you know.
And yes.
Isn't-
But
It's
well,
only
I
half.
think that the selecting what kind of sentences are relevant will
Mhm.
always be a difficult problem,
Yeah,
especially when you are considering that every person could have some other kind of criteria also, and
Yeah,
you
sure.
just don't know.
No, but the relevance should be fixed according to some criteria, not only that you are different from the rest, like external criteria. Maybe from the company, the company want to tell everybody, I don't know, what is the peak consumption. So that is what you want to be in the, this is the most relevant sentences, the one that
We
explains the
could
most
also,
consumption.
we can also, we have also been considering, for example, just that relevance could be related to the kind of linguistic labels that are attached to the sentences. You could say, for example, a sentence which is saying something like, your consumption is equal in the morning to the afternoon. That those sentences have less relevance, for example.
Mhm.
Or that sentences only stating things that are high have high relevance, and things that are stating things that are low don't have relevance. There are many different pathways that you can go
Yeah.
into.
No, but it was surprising that
That this one was chosen.
yeah, this one was chosen, but it's weird because sometimes you will tell the user, okay, your consumption during the middays is very low because nobody is very different from the others. And it will be very relevant. And for the user will say, who I cares, you know? I don't care that during the middays I have a very low consumption, you know, because, okay, I am weird, but maybe I work outside, so during the midday I'm not at home, so of course I know I have a very low consumption during the midday.
For me, what is surprising is to fix this scale of hours in the day for all the ages. For example, it's not the same in winter than in summer.
Not in the weekend.
For example, for me, during all the year, 4 o'clock is not the morning. For me, it's the night. But
Personally,
then, I suppose that there are not only parts of the year, but also kind of people. It's not the same people working in the rural areas, and people working in an industrial area, and people working in the urban area. And what I would suggest is to move this scale during the 4 parts of the year, and also change the scale for people working in different areas in Asturias, for example. I think that it is to fix this scale for all Asturias or for all, or not for Spain, I don't know, is something artificial. For example, for a person working in a rural area, with cows, for example, 6 o'clock in the morning is the morning. But for me, 6 o'clock in the morning is not exactly the morning.
Even Sundays
And
is
of course,
different than
4 o'clock
Mondays.
in the morning for me is 4 o'clock in night. And also to say that night starts at 24 hours, well, it depends. For me, night does not start at 24 hours. I go to bed at 11 hours each day. This is not to adapt to me, but to say different type of people working in different situations like agriculture, industry,